Hello guys, how you all doing today? I trust you're doing good and you are well. So I got something important I love to share. I've shared the story before on multiple occasions. I've shared it with friends, I've shared it with family, I've shared it also anytime I'm privileged to speak in meetings. I've shared it with those I mentor. But I also love to share the story again today because it forever changed the way I viewed work. So here's the story. Over 15 years ago, I ran into a friend. We were together in the university. We lived in the same hostel, though not in the same rooms, but we were friends. So we left university, we parted ways, and we were not privileged to see ourselves again. So one day I was going out to shop for some items, and I ran into my friend. Of course, I was very excited. She was very excited. She was screaming, I was screaming as well. We were hugging ourselves, I was just so surprised to see her after many years of leaving school. So I was just trying to catch up. How you doing? Where have you been? Do you have a job now? I was just asking questions. So she told me when she left school, she stayed 2-3 years, about 1-2 years, there was no job. So she picked herself up and went to Lagos to learn a skill. And what was the skill? She learned the skill and became a professional makeup artist. And she was specializing mainly on bridal. So she could do makeup, she could do hair very well, but her core was professional bridal makeup. So of course, so she told me she opened a salon in town, and I've been to that particular building on several occasions to do some financial transactions. I never noticed she had a salon or a shop in that particular location. So she described the location for me. I was very excited. I told her I know the place. So she invited me over to come, that she wants to do free hair for me. She wants to do my nails. She wants to do manicure, pedicure. I was very excited, looking forward to the next day so we can catch up. Something happened that night that shifted everything. I had a vision that changed everything. I mean, it shifted everything. So in the vision, I ran into her again. But this time, it was different. The moment I saw her, her countenance changed. She looked like someone who was caught in the act. She looked like someone who was being exposed. So I looked at her, I was shocked. I looked at her, I saw in her forehead, she had three marks on her forehead. They looked like paintings, The marks were as thick as my finger. So she had 3 of it. She had one. So she had 3 of such marks, thick, very thick, like this. So she had 3 on her forehead, and the colors, I can't forget the colors. The first color was black, the second color was red, and the last color was green. I knew her in school very well. We close, we ate together. I didn't concoct anything in my head. I've never concocted anything in my head, so it wasn't my imagination. So I knew that it was God that was showing me something in that vision, because in that vision, you were in a realm where you cannot pretend. That vision became a realm where you cannot pretend. So I knew her physically, but I didn't know her spiritually. I had known her through my university days. I knew her physically. She had made my hair. Yeah, she has made my hair in the university. Sometimes when you do not have money and you're broke, my friend just make my hair for me. She has made my hair in the university. I've never concocted anything evil in my mind. I never thought about it. So immediately I saw her in that vision, I instantly just knew who she was. I instantly knew who she was, because we were in a realm where neither of us could pretend. So instantly I saw the colors, I saw her, and I just broke down. I instantly broke down. She couldn't look at my face. She couldn't look at me. This is someone that when we met physically, she could look at me. But when she saw me in that vision, she couldn't look at my face. She was staring down. She was looking down. She was looking like, someone who was caught unawares, someone who has been exposed. So she was just staring down. So I began to cry. I began to call her name. Of course, I'm not going to call her name. I began to call her name in the vision. I began to cry. And I said, so this is what you do, So this is what you do. You told me that, you went to Lagos, you learned professional makeup, you came back to town, so this is what you do. I was crying. I was asking her, you told me you are a bridal, you do bridal makeup, makeover, hair, everything. So I asked her the question. This is what really broke me, because why was I crying? I was just crying because I saw marks on her head. I was crying because of the interpretation I got of what I saw instantly. I began to cry. So I was asking her, so this is what you do. So this is what you do. You told me that you went to Lagos, you learned a skill, professional makeup, you're a professional makeup artist, and you specialize, your core is bridal. So I asked her, I said, so anybody you do makeup for, their marriages don't work. So anybody you do bridal makeup for, their marriages don't work. So when you lay hands on people, so you are evil, their marriages don't work, and even if the marriages work, they don't have children. I said, you are wicked. You are wicked. I was crying. I was weeping like in the vision, like I've seen all the makeup that she has been doing and how the people she does the bridal makeup for are suffering in their marriages. So I began to cry. So it was in that moment when I was crying so deeply, I cried and I woke up from my sleep. It's very few times I've cried waking up from my visions, and they are really, really not good. So I cried, I woke up, and I shared my vision with my husband. Don't forget, I was supposed to go there the next day to do free makeup, free manicure, pen, because she had a big space, a big, beautiful, I don't want to say luxury, a big, beautiful space. She had a beautiful space, and she offered to make my hair for free. She offered to do everything for me for free. So immediately I had that vision. That was the moment I knew that she was on a mission. And her mission was simple. Her mission was to destroy marriages. New brides come to her, trust her for their makeup, for their big day, and all she does, she knows that she's been commissioned. Yes, because I saw in that vision that she was assigned. That was her assignment. Her task was simple. Her task was that she should do bridal makeup and wreak havoc in the marriages of those that she does makeover or makeup for. So I saw that she was using this particular craft that she learned to bring destruction, and her specialty was marriages. So I saw a lot of destruction. I saw a lot of broken marriages, broken homes, suffering, barrenness, in the people she has done makeover, or what they call it, or makeup for. I was burdened to realize that she was using her skill as a weapon of darkness. She was using her skill as a weapon of destruction. I'm not saying this to condemn makeup or condemn makeover. I'm not sharing this so you can say, I'm not going to do makeup again, or I'm not going to wear makeup again, or my wedding day, nobody does makeup for me. I'm just sharing this to those who are artisans, those who are creatives, those who have a skill, so you can understand, especially if you call yourself a believer, that people are using their skills as weapons of darkness. Yes, people are using their skills as weapons of darkness. You too can use your skill as a weapon of light.